Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we have a new hero in a sneak peek that is coming, which we know the Draconic faction, we just got melee on, so it wasn't but what, 2 heroes ago that we did get a new Draconic hero, and it appears that we are getting a second new Draconic hero, which is going to be in the same vein or the same realm as we see with another Highborn dragon. So it is going to be another Highborn dragon similar to what we have with Gwen, similar to what we have with Hildwyn. Now these heroes are not awakened heroes. They are the highborn version of Draconic heroes, which means even when you come in to do the summoning, this is where it gets really dicey and where it gets super expensive is when it comes to the Dragon Heart Temple. You can look at the sheer cost of getting these. Now they are roughly 65 for the pity timer. When it comes to these heroes, there are very, very minimal ways to get the insignias that are required to build these out. Even me personally, I don't have Gwen built out at this point. Hildwyn, we did get the free copies. We got him all the way up to Ascended, but Gwen still needs a lot more work. And now with another one coming, we have, as you can see, 0 resources. So let's hop over and check out this new hero. All right, guys, so here is a sneak peek at the new hero. Now, this is Lan, the Aquarium Herald. You can see this is from Floofpire. Very, very cool. So this is actually data mined information of what is coming, but you can see that it is a Draconic hero, it is intelligence, and it is a support hero. So again, very interesting to see that this is going to be a highborn support hero within the Draconic faction. And again, really big question mark on how and when this is going to be released, but also how are we going to summon the hero? But I want to run through the skills and abilities so we can take a look. So first one is the Dragon's Roar. So she shifts into a dragon. So very similar, again, to what we see with Gwen and what we see with Hildwyn. She can actually turn into a dragon, dealing damage as the attack rating enemies hit in 3 stages. Enemies in the center take additional damage. So this, of course, could be something that is going to pull the enemies together, making the enemies in the center, which we know is what Meleon can do, is bringing everyone together. When they're hit, they are stunned. They're going to receive damage. Only one hero on the team can shift at a time. Level 2, enemies hit cannot recover energy or receive healing, which again is kind of crazy. And then the Tempest Harmony during this time, the first control effect applied to each hero are removed. So again, very, very strong support hero. PvP aspect with Dragon's Roar is going to be huge. Looking at the Dense Mist, paints a swath of auspicious clouds for 0 seconds. During the time, each ally hero nullifies the first instance of damage from skills or ultimates. So this is going to be straight up damage protection versus skills and ultimates abilities, which of course does not exceed her attack, which means building up her attack much higher, whether it be with collections and everything else we have in here, is going to be huge. Reusing this skill refreshes the cloud's duration and resets the damage immunity count. So very cool. That is a big, big damage immunity. A bonus equivalent to the attack rating and the defense rating. And then the duration adds a crit rating. So she is going to have multiple ways to buff with this Dense Mist, which again is going to be kind of crazy. So if they're buffing up attack, if they're buffing up defense, if they're buffing up a crit rating, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how strong they do make this hero. Now the Rain Bell, as you can see right here, she wields her brush. So it almost sounds like she's a painter, summoning auspicious rain to fall within the allied half of the battlefield. This rain restores maximum health to nearby enemies up to the attack rating, while dispelling most debuffs. Again, PvP, that is going to be huge. This skill requires that ally heroes are sheltered under an auspicious cloud. So if they have the cloud, the rain is going to actually come from the cloud. So really cool ability. If an ally hero dispels an enemy debuff or limitation effect, they get additional damage on the attacker. So thinking boss fights where there is only one attacker, this could be a really, really big thing. And you can see damage dealt of the attack rating can stack so many times. Additional damage is increased to whatever percentage of the attack rating. And then of course the E30, it shows right here. For so many seconds, allied heroes within range immediately dispel newly applied debuffs. If applied by enemy heroes, they also inflict damage to the enemy's hero. During this duration, each ally hero can trigger the damage effect up to so many times, which is kind of crazy. And then of course, Nectar Song after the Rain Bell. So after that third skill ends, all allied heroes except Lan gain a drop of nectar When the Nectar deals damage, they inflict additional damage of the attack rating and dispels most of the target's buffs. So not only are we protecting our team from the debuffs, but now we're removing all of the buffs that are on the enemy team, which again is a little bit crazy. Then you can see they recover a max health and a max health there. The E60, if a target has dispelled debuffs, each dispelled debuff increase the potence of the additional damage inflicted. So doing more damage there and stacking the damage within this hero. Again, kind of crazy. Then we look at the signature item, Cloud Companion and Furniture Suite Echoes. So looking at the signature item, the duration of the clouds is extended, which I love. And then during the cloud's duration, allied heroes gain attribute bonuses or boosts equivalent to some of the attack rating and defense rating. Again, bigger and higher that you build this hero, the better it's going to perform. During the cloud's duration, each allied hero immunity counts against damage from skills is increased. The skill Rain Bell now heals all allies on the battlefield. So now Rain Bell is going to heal everybody. At the start of battle, the clouds appear immediately on the allied half of the battlefield. So again, kind of crazy to think of this hero as a support. Then, of course, the furniture. During the duration of Nectar, which we know is Nectar Song, that fourth ability, if an allied hero drops below so many hit points, they recover so much of the max health up to a certain attack rating. During the duration of Nectar, if an allied hero is above, their damage is increased. So as long as we're keeping our allied heroes at a higher health level with the 9 of 9 furniture, the damage is going to be increased in here, which again is pretty crazy when you think of a highborn dragon and of course where the scaling is going to be overall. But when it comes to these highborn dragons, again, the sheer cost of building them is just astronomical. I don't even know if and when or how we're going to get more insignias. There has to be something with the release of this hero specifically. I know they talked about it in the dev notes that they were looking at and exploring other possibilities to getting more insignias, to getting more summons for these highborn heroes. Because if you're like me, even looking at Meleon, looking at all the other heroes, there is not really a way or a cost-efficient way to build them at all. Now, you'll also notice that she is a buffer, but she is also a control hero, which again, looking at the skills and abilities in here, it's kind of crazy to think that we're going to have another highborn hero, which we know cost-wise, it's about $1,000, probably a little over $1,000 to build each highborn hero out if you're just looking to buy the hero itself. We know it's a very, very slow build when it comes to essentially building them out through the Dragonspire. Not only the cost itself, which again can be kind of crazy, but let's hop over to AFK Arena and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. So when we start looking here at the Draconic supplies, you can see even looking here, so 50 of these, so looking at 50 of our Draconis insignias runs $100. Now that does not guarantee that you are going to get a single copy of the Highborn Draconics, which of course it does take multitude of copies to build them out. Now a couple ways that they could actually do this is one, having different places that we can buy this, but what we see with that is it is kind of a double-edged sword, as if you're adding these into different events, which I know that is what they're planning right now. But if you're adding these into different events, that means that we're not going to be able to get other things out of the events because they are going to be tied to this. Now, if they add them in just as bonus loot or extra loot on different things without essentially phasing out or removing other loot in there, it's going to make a big difference. In addition, the Dragonforge trials, this needs to go up kind of exponentially so you can pick up more of the Dragonforge, even adding more of our stages in here. So if they went from 10 to 20 with the Dragonforge or the Draconic heroes, it would really make a big difference when you're building them out, and also giving you the ability to actually pick up a lot more insignias out of here. That way, because even during the normal course of a month, we're getting 30 insignias in here, a few, depending on where you land really within some other game modes. But when it comes to the efficiency of building out these heroes at all, it is not really there right now, and it needs to be adjusted. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.